This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Life is scary when you wake up and realise that you texted your ex a you up text. Yeah, we all deal with those Sunday scaries. The oh shit, stressful, nervous, can't sleep, dread feelings that hit you on a Sunday evening when you're thinking about work or school or just life for tomorrow. Unfortunately, you can feel that same pit in your stomach any day of the week. Sunday scary CBD gummies were made to defeat the crap life throws at us. These are the perfect CBD gummies for professionals on the grind, super moms, students, party animals, regretful drunk sexters, and everybody in between. I am a terrible sleeper. My scaries tend to hit me at night time, so I end up spending precious snoozing hours staring at the ceiling questioning life. So I'm always looking for new ways to get better sleep. Sunday scary CBD gummies help me decompress, clear my mind and fall asleep so I can wake up like a fully functioning human being. We all have the right to live scare-free. So whether you need to take the edge off, calm your mind, sleep better, or just chill, take 2 CBD gummies every day to keep those scaries away. Let me save you with our 10% discount. Visit sundayscaries.com and use our promo code GRAVEYARD. That's GRAVEYARD, all capital letters, for 10% off at sundayscaries.com.
Welcome back to the Graveyard Club podcast. We return finally. I have my co-host back with me after a long hiatus.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Dee.
Thanks.
Welcome back to the podcast. We missed you.
Oh, did you just miss me?
Yeah, and I just started doing like silly little silent horror look back videos. I've been dying to do the podcast with you again.
Oh,
So,
well, I was
What
off.
happened? What happened to you?
Basically, long story short, had sinus surgery, so needed a few weeks off to recover. Otherwise, I would have been talking like that.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't have been able to hear me, so.
Were you watching the videos that I put up?
Yeah.
Did you like them?
Yeah, they were.
They were good.
They were missing my bit of flavour.
Your little touch, I think, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they were. They were missing out my little addition to
I
it.
think it's been almost 2 months now. Maybe 2 months since the last podcast. So
Oh, right, well, here we go.
we're back again. We're back in business. And before we get into today's video, I do want to say we have 2 new sponsors. Sunday Scaries and Doobie Energy Drink. So you'll hear about us talking about it.
Yeah, I can't
later on in the
believe
video.
I leave for a brief period of time, then you have 2 sponsors.
Yeah, we're not doing too bad. Too bad.
Good, good. So
today's video is about 2023 horror films that we've seen, and we're going to talk a little bit briefly about upcoming ones as well. So
yeah. How do we feel about 2023 in horror so far? I'm feeling a little bit negative, I'm not going to lie. I'm not impressed.
it's not really off to a good start for me. Like, I don't think.
Personally, I don't know. Anyways, we have seen Megan, Knock on the Cabin and Infinity Pool so far. So we'll have a little chat about them. But we'll also chat about the ones that we're looking forward to because, to be honest with you,
There's better ones to come. I think the
Yeah.
second half of the year does have a lot of better horror coming.
well, hopefully, yeah. I'm not going to try to be too negative, but I have to say, I haven't been very, very happy. So, anyways.
So I want to talk about Megan first because that's the first one that we've seen, wasn't it? Oh dear.
Yeah, that was the first one that we've seen.
I just want to say it wasn't much of a horror to me.
It was absolutely not horror at all. I thought it was more like a sci-fi kind of thriller. Like, do you know those, do you know the ones with Will Smith in it?
Yeah.
And it has robots.
Like iRobot and Legend.
iRobot. That's what I got from that.
Like, see, I did read somewhere they were going for, say, like an 18s or like a more of an R rating, like, but at the end cut it to like a 12s. Because it was real popular with TikTok. I think they were trying to release it for a more wider audience. But I have down here, like, misleading trailer. If you watch the trailers to this film, it looks like a straight horror. It shows you all the little scary parts
But
through the film.
there was actually no scary parts whatsoever.
Now,
Like
see,
the only scary thing was
the part
Megan herself, like the doll itself. Like,
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
but like, see in the part in the trailer where she's running, and like, no, this not like they were the best parts in the film. They showed
Well, the
everything
whole
in
film was in the trailer. It was one of those.
Mm.
And I think you were talking about the TikTok thing, the little dance scenes, like,
Yeah. Now,
you know.
a sequel is actually already in the works.
Yeah, I'm a bit sad about that because I just don't think it warrants a sequel.
But at least they could try go for a bit more of a horror style the next time around, maybe. But it is very popular. Like a lot of people do like this film. I'm not saying it's not a bad film.
No, it's not a bad film. I'm not. I just feel like I'm not looking at this as a horror film because it's just not a horror film.
It is.
So I don't like the way it's marketed as one. So
I was almost getting like a Chucky kind of vibe when I first seen the trailer, like a better version of Chucky.
Yeah, I just.
And I had like James Bond's name and all that. Like I thought it'd have every make.
Yeah, a name dropped. It's out there, name dropping, saying James Bond and everything. And to be honest,
yeah, name dropping, yeah.
like don't be name dropping James Bond if you're coming out with this. Like it's just, I don't know. And the best acting that we got was from the child. I just found
the child
like
or Megan?
Not Megan the doll. Sorry, the main character. That's the little girl. Her, I think it's her auntie, isn't it?
Yeah,
I won't spoil the story, like, but was woeful.
Yeah.
Like the acting was woeful. She was just so unbelievable. It looked like
I was expecting a little bit more all around from that film. I will go to see the second one. I think the second was already confirmed before the movie even came out.
Of course, because it always is. But anyways,
what would you give? What would you give that now for a rating? Like?
I'm gonna go right in and give it a 4.
4.
Yeah.
Wow, really? Yeah.
Because I'm not looking at that as a horror film. I'm looking at that as like a site. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, I can respect that. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like an action film, nearly.
I was thinking more it was 7, but now that it might be like a 6.8.
Okay.
Like it was a good film, but like from the trailers and the way it was marketed, it wasn't much of a horror film to me. And anyway.
So then, Knock at the Cabin was the second one that we seen after Megan, and I don't want to be shitting on these movies, but my god, also not horror whatsoever.
No, like
so I'm looking at this as a thriller. So I'm talking about this as a thriller film.
Yeah, I think the 3 films that we've seen so far are like films with a sprinkled bit of horror. They're not traditional.
They're like psychological dramas.
Definitely more like thrillerish as well. Like
yeah,
but yeah, Knock at the Cabin, director M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And usually his films, from what I've seen, he does have some good films. They always usually have a big twist towards the end of it. Now, spoiler before I say anything, but there's no real twist at the end of this film.
No, I think this is notorious for not having a twist.
Yeah, it just ended the way it did.
I don't know. The story was so lacking. Like M. Night Shyamalan is like known for all these kind of mad stories, aren't they? Like the other film I seen by him before, Old.
That was a mad twist at the end of
it. Weird ass film. Like it was weird, but it was weirdly enjoyable because like it's not a rewatchable film. Like once you kind of see his films,
you
can't really watch it because the whole thing is leading up to what is going on at the end. Where this one, it's like we're in like 10 minutes, and then here they are saying, "Oh, we have to save the apocalypse or stop the apocalypse, save the world."
No,
I
feel like throughout the film there is a big build up to something, and at the end, I don't know. Like there was some sort of a message with this film, but I don't. It
was just poor. Like even the scenes when they were watching the news and stuff like that. So that could have been so much.
It could have been done a bit better, yeah. Yeah,
and even the kill scenes. Did you notice? You see absolutely nothing.
No, it was tastefully done in that way, I think. But like it was good. Like it was still an enjoyable film. Dave Bautista. I enjoyed.
Rupert Grint.
Yeah, Ronald Weasley.
Yeah, Rupert Grint.
What did you think of Dave Bautista?
I'll skip on him for a second. Acting in general, really, really good. The little girl was good.
The 2 gay fellas.
The couple was good. Dave Bautista, is it Bautista?
Yeah, Bautista, yeah.
Like, who's letting him in these films? Who's letting him in all these films? A little bit hating. He just looks so silly. Like, I can't take him seriously.
I thought that now, you'd probably recognise him from Guardians of the Galaxy. That's probably what you're thinking of. But this is the first film I've seen him now, and he actually is really good.
No, I'm thinking of him from
Wrestling.
No. Film wise, I'm thinking of him from Glass Knives.
Oh,
Glass Onion.
Yeah, Glass Onion. Glass Knives. He was in Glass Onion. Yeah, he was a bit of a silly character on that, wasn't he? A bit stupid.
And then, see, I was like, who is this fella? Everybody's talking about him. And you had said I used to be like a wrestler, so I just
Yeah.
have low I don't know.
Yeah, he was a great wrestler, but I don't know. I'm getting
But
used to
then
him in
people are
these films.
saying he's carrying that film. If that's, I'm sorry, but if people are saying Dave Bautista is the only thing carrying an M. Night Shyamalan film,
There's something going on.
it ain't hitting,
Yeah.
baby. Look, it ain't.
Well,
hitting.
your man Rupert was in the film. He was actually
He
very
was
good,
in it for
even
about
though
12 minutes.
very
max.
underused in it. He played like a hillbilly character.
They just rushed through the whole thing, you know.
And the couple, as you said, were very good. They were
The
great
couple
actors.
was really good. It was just,
And then the little...
it's all jumbled together. Like, I think Knock at the Cabin is based off a book.
Is it? Yeah, could be. More likely. But...
I'm pretty, do you know what? I'm almost certain it's based off a book, like, or a novel. So, you're fitting in, what, an hour and a half film into, like...
Yeah.
Or you're fitting in this mad story into an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it's all, like, jumbly, and it's a bit... I don't know.
I'll tell you one
Again,
thing. It's
not horror.
different.
Was not scared 1 second.
No. So, like again, I don't... Like, I suppose it's a horror. But, like, I'd call it definitely more of it, like, a thriller. Horror.
I'm not going to rate this as a horror whatsoever, but however, I will rate it as a psychological thriller drama. And I'm going to give it a 6 because I'm rating it as an M. Night Shyamalan, which it is.
Yeah.
It's not his original story because I know it's from a book, but
Yeah. Could have been better.
yeah.
Could have been better.
And I'm not hating on the acting for once. That's one thing I'm not hating on.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give it a 6. I'm going to give it a 6.3.
6.3. Yeah. Similar to the other film, I'd give Knock the Cabin a bit of a 7 because at least it does have somewhat of a different story. If it was told good or not, like, it's still a decent story to it. Like, the acting, as you said, was very good, and there was nice little cuts and little shots in it that I did like from the director. It was definitely different. But to call it a straight horror again with Megan, the trailers for this film, it was making it look like a straight horror.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then as soon as you watch the film, you're like, this is, again, I'm at being duped out. It's not a full blown horror. It's probably little horror elements in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, but the trailers are really centered around looking like they're horror.
The trailers
Confusing.
in 2023 is out here name dropping. It's name dropping James Wan, M. Night Shyamalan, and it's name dropping Blumhouse from Megan. Very misleading.
Yeah,
and
come on, you can do better.
they're out
You
there
can do
name
better.
dropping, and I just don't think it's credited. Like the trailers are hyping me up to be let down.
Yeah, I agree.
So, anyways, so then the latest one that we watched was Infinity Pool. All I'm gonna say is Alexander Skarsgård.
You like a bit of him, do you?
Who doesn't like a bit of him? I'd even take a little bit of Bill Skarsgård.
Well, there's loads of fight to choose because there's about 20 of them in the family. Like.
Great. The more the merrier.
But yeah, he was actually fairly good in it. And then, of course, Mia Goth, she's had to get
She's
like,
up
real
and
popular.
coming from Pearl and X
Yeah.
last year, yeah.
A lot of people saying her and Jenna Ortega are going to be like the new horror queens or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but
They are good. I do enjoy them.
yeah.
The one Mia Goth plays an English character. So this is the first time I've seen that she played like a different accent, and I'll be honest with you, I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, it was bad.
Mia Goth,
It's like English, French, I don't know, it was...
them were the two films I've seen her in, X and Pearl.
Yeah.
She was really good in them two films, especially Pearl.
Yeah.
But this one, she's trying to be an English woman, and you can hear her Southern American accent breaking through. But still, in fairness, still a good performance for her. So this film is about a couple that goes on like a holiday retreat and meets another couple, and they kind of show them like a crazy time. They're going out to nightclubs and stuff, and I don't know. The film just takes a really weird turn when they hit your man with the car. Do you remember?
To be honest with you, I don't understand anything.
From
Like, they're in... they never say what country they're in. They're in a really war-torn country, and the rules are totally different, and it's unsafe, and... Okay, we get it, you know. They're in a resort for rich people, and they're not meant to leave the resort.
Yeah.
But then, so they hit this fella with a car, and then the punishment for a crime like that is to die. So, you know.
Yeah.
But
Pretty
it just
harsh.
goes fucking insane. If you're rich, you pay to get a clone.
Basically, like, yeah, if you have the money enough, where like you notice throughout the film, there's a lot of rich people on the side, and it seems like if you can do a deal with them, if you pay them money, they'll clone you and kill your clone. No, but like I didn't really get it.
What?
Because I was more thinking, is the whole point is he doesn't know if it's him that gets killed or it's the clown, if you know what I mean, because they're doing it so many times. But anyway, there's like a gang of people, they're all friends, and they all go out at night and like they kill people, they rob and all this sort of stuff. Because if they get caught, all they have to do is just pay money and they survive again.
We're just skimming over the fact that this country, unknown country that kills people for things, has this ability to clone people.
Yeah, very far.
So it's like, where the fuck is this story going?
And I'm not sure the director, but there's a lot of scenes in this film, like when they go out to nightclub and I think they're taking LSD, and
yeah,
it just,
they're smelling some type of like mushroom, or
yeah.
I don't know what it is because I don't know what
but
country
it
they're
cuts
in.
to a real like montage, like music goes on for about 3 or 4 minutes, and
Oh yeah,
remember that part, like
it took forever.
Like that's different from the director at least, but like it was a good film again, like the others. Wasn't really a straight horror film.
No, also again psychological. A lot of sex in it. A lot in it, like
lot of liquid.
Yeah,
scenes.
it was very liquidy.
Yeah.
The whole film.
People
well,
who've seen that know what we're talking about.
I suppose it's called Pill.
Venti Pill for a reason. Jesus.
True. The
We've
Mandela
gone to
effect.
something. Whoever's seen the film will know what we're talking about when we say it's very liquidy.
Yeah, very liquidy things.
But the acting across the board was really good though, I thought, on that one.
Except for me, I got to like.
No, she
and
was
I
good
think
in it. It's just that
no,
accent
it
not.
wasn't the acting that was bad. It was the accent that was throwing me
It
off
was not
so bad.
convincing at all.
It was just taken away from Mia Goth herself. But yeah,
I don't know what we can say in this film. You really need to go and watch it to see what.
I can't really say much because I don't know if you're the same. But I actually have no idea what happened in the film. The ending, I was still so surprised, and it reminds me of like Midsummer nearly.
Yeah,
in a weird way.
But not near as good.
No, I know, but not like along those kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's very confusing. I would recommend. Again, I would say watch that if you're wanting something really scary. I'd say watch that if you want like a weird kind of psychological mystery. I don't know.
See, a lot of these films, like a lot of these new horror films, are going in that direction.
I think they're just banging the thing of horror on a lot of
things.
films,
It seems like that.
Probably shouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah, the word is getting thrown around a little bit too much, I think. But I enjoyed it like the other films. I'm waiting for a good horror to come out. Do you know what I mean?
What would you rate this? I'm giving this a 7.3.
I'll give it. It's the best one out of 3 of them that we've seen.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll give it a 7.7.
Okay.
Enjoyed it.
Again, it's not a bad film. The acting isn't terrible. The idea of it isn't overplayed to bits.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it's a horror.
Yeah.
For me personally, so I think that's where it's losing a couple of marks.
Yeah, because again,
it's definitely up there on the strange, liquidy.
Yeah. Liquidy is right.
Yeah.
What a word to fucking
moist.
use.
Moist.
And before we talk about the upcoming horror movies, let's have a word from our sponsor.
I love energy drinks and need at least one a day to keep me going, but unfortunately, they're usually packed with nasty additives and sugars. Doobie, on the other hand, is packed with 10 natural ingredients to keep you on top of your game. With vitamins B3, B6, B12, vitamin C, and Doobie's own formula of Neurofactor, derived from the fruit of the Arabica coffee plant, it's sure to give you the boost and brain power that you need without the jitters or sugar crash. It's so easy to make at home and tastes so nice. My favourite is Beach and Peach. Absolutely love it. And it doesn't have that nasty powdery taste that some other brands have. So be better with Doobie and enjoy 10% off with our code, The Graveyard Club. That's The Graveyard Club, no spaces and all capital letters at checkout.
Plenty of upcoming horror films coming out this year. That's what I'm saying. I think the better ones are coming out later on in the year. One I'm looking forward to, one of my favourite ones from the older ones is Salem's Lot. The remake of that coming out.
Yes.
And I don't know, I think it's Bill Skarsgård is in it, or I don't know really who's behind it, but it was meant to come out, and I think there's some behind the scenes trouble going on.
Oh really?
I think they're working on now, should they bring it out in cinemas or streaming, say bring it to Netflix or something like that. The film's done shooting.
I'll bring it out streaming.
Salem's Lot is definitely the one I'm looking forward to.
I cannot wait for Evil Dead.
Yeah, that
Oh
trailer.
my god. Oh, I
Really,
can't
really
wait
good
for that.
trailer.
Like, I was shocked the first time I seen the actual real Evil Dead, and then all the rest of them was just like, oh, you know.
Yeah, well, nothing really compared to the first Evil Dead, but the remake one that you showed me, remember that one? That
Yeah,
one
but
was very
still,
good.
at that, yeah, that was more scary. But this is kind of like, it's an Evil Dead. It's not a remake. I think it's called Reborn.
Evil Dead Rise.
Evil Dead Rise. So it's, you know, like the Necronomicon and stuff. But my God, now see, I just don't want to be hyped up to be let down. But you know, I'm hoping this is my hope for the film of the year. To be honest.
Yeah, it's more, instead of based on it in a cabin like the way a lot of the other ones were.
Yeah.
This one is set more in the city, and I think it's to do with, like, say, a mother and her kids.
Yeah, yeah. The trailer gives you a good kind of indication, but it does. It looks like the effects and the whole atmosphere in the town. It looks like it's gonna hit.
I think so far of all the ones that we're talking about, Evil Dead looks like the scariest one.
Yeah.
So another one that's coming out now that I'm a bit worried about is The Exorcist. The only reason why I'm a bit worried is because it's the same company that handled the Halloween. It's the same person really that handled the Halloween remakes. Now, not saying that they were bad, but they could have been a lot better. So with this new Exorcist trilogy, the trilogy coming out, I hope it's a lot more scary than what I think it's going to be.
Please God, hopefully. Insidious 5, to be honest, I'm a bit bored out on the Insidious now.
Really?
I just feel like the first one is a classic, the second one scared the absolute shit out of me.
First two are classics.
The second one is the scariest one out of them all, and then it just kind of, you know, branches off into different stories.
Yeah,
just like,
the last key and all.
The last, that was the last straw, to be honest.
The last straw, yeah. I thought it was alright.
No,
it's Patrick Wilson now directing this one. It's his fourth film, so that might bring a little bit more of an excitement.
Hopefully.
And then the last one I want to talk about that nobody really is talking about, I find, is The Last Voyage of the Demeter. And basically that's the ship that Dracula was on going over to England. So this film is basically just set on that little piece of the book. Yeah. What happens on the ship while Dracula's going over. And apparently it's been 10 years in making this film, so that'd be a really interesting film to see.
Are you sure it's going to be harder?
Yeah, because Dracula knows in it and he goes around killing people.
Okay.
There was like in some convention over in America, there was footage of a show.
Yeah.
And
it does look good.
It looks good.
Well, like there's obviously going to be loads more coming out this year. This is only kind of the top of our heads.
Yeah. We just wanted to show what we think at the start of the horrors for 2023. It's not really off a good start for me personally, but there's a lot more better to come. I think Salem's Lot, Evil Dead X, there's loads coming.
Fingers crossed. Anyways,
thanks for watching. If you made it all the way this far, thanks for watching. And I do want to say we're part of a network, Deluxe Edition, and we're doing like an award show thing. So I'm going to leave a link in the bio. And you can vote for us to be the podcast of the year.
Which I think we should be.
I think we should. There's plenty of other good podcasts on the network, but I think we deserve it.
You have to back yourself.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So link to the Instagram, link to the Spotify is all in the comments, in the description. Subscribe if you like it. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!